Gazet International magazine is a global entity that works towards providing latest information and news updates of the world. It entraps latest stories in banking, finance, lifestyle, and various beats of the world. We engage in recognizing and rewarding the global organizations for their achievements in various fields and deliver justice to the nominees with valued identification and recognition of companies that indulge in the Gazet Awards.
Saad, thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to Industry Insights Unveiled. So let's kick it off with a question. Can you please give us a brief introduction about yourself and UBlac for the audience?
Absolutely. First, I thank you for having me on your podcast today. I'm Saad Seddiq. I hold a baccalaureate degree in graphic design. I co-founded UBlac with a group of friends during my final semester of my university studies. This was 2009. It was a bold move back then, especially considering that in Jordan, the typical path for people is to start their careers in other companies to gain experience, which I encourage, by the way. It's a good way to get experience. However, I always had a strong passion for launching my own company. In the beginning, it was tough. We operated from coffee shops. But gradually things started to come together. We started making progress and even got noticed when a local magazine featured us for creating a web-based game using Flash for one of the largest publishers in Jordan called The Rai. Although it ended up to being a loss financially, it was a good successful project that gave UBlac a positive attention during its early days. In 2010, I made my decision to take UBlac to the next step by registering the company officially and opening our own office. Sadly, my friends who started UBlac with me decided to leave the company. Some of them didn't think it do well or even survive. Others went to work in different places outside Jordan. But even though it was hard, I didn't give up. I always believed deep down inside that it would work out someday. Fortunately, I got lucky and I found some really great people who helped UBlac to come what it is today. And I want to deeply thank them for being part of UBlac. Of course, me and my employees here.
Okay. UBlac has indeed, it's come a long way, it's had a long journey. So thank you for the introduction. I would like to ask you, so how did you become interested in the field of branding and marketing, and what made you what inspired you to pursue it as a career?
Yeah, nice question. I became interested in the branding because I have always been fascinated by how big brands like Apple, Rolex, Dior, you name it, can gain so much fans and influence people. It's like a puzzle for me. It's what's their secret sauce? How can just a brand name be worth billions of dollars? Let's take Apple, for example. The Apple brand name today is worth around $900 billion. Only the brand name, the logo and the brand name. Can you imagine it? It's something I found very interesting. So I chose to study it and become really good at it because I understood it's incredibly crucial for any businesses. Having a famous brand is like having a superpower, you know? You don't have to stress about selling your products or services because people will eagerly want to buy your product. Just look at Apple, for example. Also, people wait in line for days to get their stuff on newest products like iPhone or iPads. Can you believe what kind of influence? We also work with Rolex here in Jordan, and however, we can't run any marketing campaign because there's a long waiting list for their new watches. It's sold for years in advance. This is the power of a brand, and it's why we call ourselves a branding agency, because it's the most important part of any company, to have a well-known brand.
All right. So as a branding expert, What, in your opinion, is the most critical aspect of building a strong and memorable brand?
Okay, it's not one thing, but let's talk about the most crucial aspect of creating a strong and memorable brand. Is making the customer the central character of the story. Brands need to create a real bond with their audience by always understanding their needs, values, and dreams. It's all about making the customer the star of the show. I like to mention Apple as it's one of the biggest. It's the biggest, actually, the biggest company, and I really admire this company for its branding tactic. I want to mention. Let's consider the famous Apple campaign, "Think Different." It was launched late '90s, if you know it. It didn't talk about any specific product, you know. Instead, it connected their brand with influential figures from the history and highlighted how they were different. So this made the people feel special when they picked an Apple product, like belonging to a cult or something. So it's all about telling a story and make the customer the hero of the story.
Okay, so now that you've given example of Apple and it's how it has excelled with its branding, can you tell me what are some common mistakes that businesses make when it comes to branding, and how can they avoid them?
Yeah, sure. One common mistake is not diving deep into understanding their audience. Brands need to get to know their customers' desires, likes, and problems inside out. Another slip up is focusing solely on selling products instead of genuinely assisting customers. While selling is important, of course, for all brands to sell their service or product to make money, but if that's the only goal, customers can't sense it. And they will prefer brands that truly help them over those just try to make a sale out of them, you know? So just focus on assisting people, give a real value, not just to make sale or to try to get more market value. You have to be solely interested in your customers to help them out. So that's my main, I think the main mistake that companies does.
Okay, so since you've been in this field of branding for a long time now, can you tell me how do you think the COVID-19 pandemic has influenced branding and marketing strategies, and what lessons can businesses learn from this period?
Yeah, the pandemic accelerated the shift to digital and highlighted the importance of the online presence. Brands had to adapt quickly to challenge it, to changing consumer behavior. A crucial lesson is the need for agility and adaptability in marketing strategies. Businesses should be prepared to pivot and prioritize online channels while staying focused on customer needs.
Okay, so as the marketing landscape has evolved so much with the rise of digital platforms, like you just mentioned, and social media, what advice do you have for small businesses that have limited marketing resources?
Yeah, sure. Small businesses can focus on targeting marketing efforts to maximize their resources. Identify your niche audience and choose the most relevant digital platform. Being consistent and give a real value, this can help you stand out. Additionally, considering a partnership or collaboration to extend your reach without any hefty budget, it can help you. It can help small businesses out.
So, as you have worked with, small brands and the biggest of the brands, can you share an example of a campaign or initiative which you led and that had a significant impact on a brand's success?
Yeah, sure. It's a tough question because we have done some incredible campaigns throughout the years, but I will share one that really stands out. One of the most remarkable campaigns was the Axe Rage Rooms. If you know the concept of rage rooms, I don't know if you know it, that you can go and smash things. It's like something for stress relief or something. It's a nice idea. So right from the start, our goal was clear. Make Axe really popular in Jordan. And the Rage Room idea was the perfect way to do it. What made it exciting is that we used videos from the internet showing real people, smashing things, and we incorporated that into our teasing campaign. This added an element of excitement. Our campaign was a big deal. It was all about keeping people in suspense and surprising them. People were super excited, counting down the days until the grand opening. Connecting with our audience was a big part of why campaign worked so well. It felt like one big happy conversation. We also teamed up with the famous influencers in Jordan to get more people to know about it. The results were amazing. Our campaign even got mentioned in really big news companies out there, like New York Times, Al Jazeera, Reuters, and all others, many outlets mentioning the campaign. It wasn't just a regular marketing campaign. It showed us that in today's world of internet, a success can be achieved with a storytelling campaign that centers around the customer. So it was a very nice campaign, and it got a huge attraction out there.
That is like very impressive, and I think I would have enjoyed being a part of that campaign as well. Now that you mentioned it was about the Reach Room. So moving on, branding and marketing requires constant experimentations with new ideas, strategies, and with new ideas, strategies, and experiments. And experiments, they often involve risk-taking. So how important is the culture of experimentation and innovation and marketing for businesses?
It's very important. Experimentation and innovation are like a secret ingredient in marketing. The marketing world changes fast, and what was hit yesterday might not be tomorrow. By welcoming new experimentation, businesses can stay ahead of the curve, find fresh opportunities, and adjust to shifting consumer tastes. Therefore, it's crucial always to explore new methods and to incorporate them into your next marketing campaign. Otherwise, you'll risk failing behind and following other trends. So don't be afraid of trying new methods, even if it doesn't work. But you must try new methods to be creative, to achieve attraction from methods like viral videos that maybe focus on some consumers' behaviors. It's a crucial thing to try new methods. Don't be afraid of trying any new methods.
So when we talk about experimentation, obviously we cannot leave failure behind, the topic of failure. So yeah, failure is an inherent part of experimentation. Can you share an instance when a marketing campaign or branding initiative did not go as planned? And what did the brand learn from this failure, and how did they adapt their strategy while moving forward?
Sure. We had an interesting experience with a buzz campaign for a new startup called Quinoa. It's like an online platform like Amazon. The buzz campaign went so well that turned out to be a failure. It was a good lesson. I think you are confused now how it went so well and I called it a failure. I will tell you. The client is a startup. Was very eager to create a buzz before the platform's launch. They believed that they could deliver the platform on time, but unfortunately, they faced delays. As a result, our teasing campaign, which was meant to generate excitement, reached its limit, and people started to get frustrated. When finally the website went live, it got a huge traffic that led to frequent downtime. Of course, people got frustrated and developed a negative feedback. We learned something important. Even if the client believes in their skills, we need to make sure the product is ready before starting any new campaign. Now we implement a checklist for all teasing and buzz campaigns to maintain our respected image of UBlac brand. So even if the campaign went well, it got a very negative feedback because of the product. It's not ready yet, you know. So this one of our failures. We can call it a failure from our part.
So the success of a campaign also determines the client relationship that you have, right? So for a successful campaign, it is very important to have a positive client relationship, as it allows clients to openly communicate about their expectations. So how do you ensure that you and your clients are on the same page when it comes to project goals, timelines, and outcomes? Can you share a tip for effective communication with clients to prevent misunderstandings?
In our approach to ensuring alignment with our clients, we leverage a variety of communication tools to foster a positive client relationship. We utilize customer relationship management, a CRM system, to keep track of our clients' tasks and requirements. Additionally, we make extensive use of email and chatting softwares for day-to-day communication, allowing clients to reach out whenever they have a question or need a clarification or something else. To prevent misunderstanding, we find the following tips very effective. First, keep client updated. We regularly tell the clients how the project is going, so they know what's happening. Write things down. We write down important details about the project, what want to achieve, and when it should be done. Also, we listen carefully. We pay close attention to what clients want to make sure, because it helps us to get work together. You know, we have to know what's in mind in the mind of our clients. Also, be clear from the start. We make sure everyone knows what they're supposed to do, the project will look like, and when it should be finished. Ask for feedback. It's also good to ask for feedback throughout the different times during the project. This will help us make changes if needed, and stay flexible. You know, we are willing to adjust things if the client needs to change. We are adaptable. We can't be strict on some certain tasks. You have to be flexible.